Congressman, what do you think's really going on here? Do you think that maybe Dad called Hunter and said, do not do a public hearing, that will embarrass me, I'm running for re-election?
I think that's it 100%. I ought to run you for Republican Party chairman. You've got more strategy than a lot of these kids do. But the reality is, he's listening to his lawyer, and he's going to have to sit there beside Tony Bobulinski, who I keep saying has a great name, which I love saying, Bobulinski. I'd like to hear Trump say that. That would be pretty cool. But the truth is that he is he's listening to his attorney. And he obviously legally, if he got there with all those guys, and Bobulinski can give dates, names, times, places, amounts of money, to the minute details. And Hunter won't have that capability because his attorney won't be sitting there holding his hand. And he never thought we'd ever call his bluff, and we did. Chairman Comer did, and I think he's done a great job at it. And this just proves, there's two sets of rules in this country, rules for the Bidens and the rules for the rest of us. That's all it is. He wants to run the clock out, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and his lawyer now says a public hearing, not a serious oversight proceeding. He calls it a, quote, made for right-wing media circus act. So now after his refusal, what happens next?
I would hope that we would subpoena him once again to come before the committee. I don't know if that's in the cards or not. I think he's already pretty much shot his deal in this whole thing. And with with his business associates, it's going to be 3 or 4 against 1, and because they're not going to go to jail for this clown, and they shouldn't. They were probably in what they thought was legitimate businesses, and then they realized it's just a way to funnel cash into 20 or so different shell corporations in bank accounts, and so that's all they're doing, and I guess they're glad of all the other news that's going on in the world right now, because they get they just get segmented out. But the reality is that they are crooked as a dog's leg, and America knows it, and he doesn't want to go into an election cycle.
I hope that Comer does decide to re-subpoena Hunter Biden, because the public hearing, I think the public would like to hear from Hunter Biden. So we'll see what happens. And Tony Bobulinski, he testifies publicly next week. And I'd love to have you back next week to sort of set that up before it happens. But I want to ask you about your pal in Congress, Ken Buck. He's your colleague from Colorado. He announced that he's retiring by the end of the week next week. He's got 10 months to go in his term, but just like Kevin McCarthy, he is abandoning the Republican Party when the party needs him the most. You need his vote. The margins haven't been this slim in Congress in a long time. Why do you think he's doing this? And what do you make of the rumors that maybe he's taking a job at CNN or MSNBC or whatever? Whatever he's got lined up, apparently he can't serve in Congress for another 10 months, which, by the way, is almost half of his 2-year term in Congress.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I heard it was CNN early on. I didn't believe it, but now I've come to believe it. There's a lot of workings going on. I don't know what's in Ken's heart. He's always been kind to me, and he's a stand-up guy. But there's a lot going on with Lauren Boebert switching over. I think some of this will have to do with possibly hurting her chances of election in his district. As you know, she moved from her district to his district.
Right.
And now she's running there. And I think this in some quarters it's been said that this was an attempt to weaken her campaign, and that's a shame. That really is a shame, because she is a conservative stalwart.
Yeah. Do you think, by the way, and we're tight on time, but Kevin McCarthy did the same thing, and nobody talks about that. He abandoned you. He abandoned the party. You need his vote. You need his experience. What do you think his legacy will ultimately be here?
Who, Ken Bucks?
Kevin McCarthy.
Oh, I don't know. He said he was in it for the fight. And then, you've got 1 year cooling off period before you can officially lobby. But what they do is consult. And so, throwing up the air quotes. So he'll be making $1 million a year as a lobbyist. The soon as he could get out, the sooner he could lobby. You take an oath. You're supposed to uphold that oath. You're supposed to stay in office. You make a commitment to your folks. But then when you see a little cash flow, these guys tend to get out in a hurry, and that's really is a shame. That is a complete shame. I think that will ultimately be the legacy of a lot of these folks.